So today we're going to understand that mess of the origin of the gods. Yes, soon enough you'll understand that mess is an extreme understatement. We know this theory of the origin from Hesiodo's Theogonia, which was a narrative of the Greeks' first mythical cosmogony. Let's begin. We're not sure how, but in the beginning there's an abyss of darkness. This is called chaos. After this first god follows Gaia, the Mother Earth, Tartarus of the depths of the earth, some say underworld, and Eros, the god of sexual desire. So to summarize, there's chaos, earth, underworld, and sexual desire. But remember, we can't see any of it because it is dark. Let's name this darkness. So, from chaos, the first deity to pop out of nowhere, asexually spawns Erebus, who is the darkness of this underworld, and Nyx, who is the darkness on earth. When they mix, they create Aether, an outer atmosphere that the gods breathe. Then night spawns day and Phus light. Meanwhile, Gaia, remember, spawns Uranus the sky, Aurea the mountains, and Pontus the sea. Let's stick with Gaia. Because Eros, sexual desire, exists, the gods could stop this unreasonable spawning and began to have children the way we know it today, viviparously. So Gaia tries this out with her son Uranus, whom she's been holding above her, and gives birth to 3 hecatonchires, lovely monsters with 100 hands and 50 heads each, and then 3 cyclops. After the mother and son produce these monsters, the genetics sort out somehow, and they have 12 gods called the Titans. Some say that Uranus hated the hecatonchires, so he hid his children on Crete. Others say that he hated the Titans, so he shoved them back up from where they were born. Either way, Gaia was not happy and asked the Titans to help her out. Sticking with the second story, that Uranus shoved his children back into Gaia, when Uranus comes to have sex with Gaia, Kronos, who's been growing up inside her, chops off whatever he can get at from his angle. The blood hits the sea and creates more monsters, the Furies, giants, and nymphs. When his manliness hits the sea, it creates a foam which bears the child Aphrodite of love and desire. Now the Titans are freed and Kronos becomes the king. Now that that is solved, everything is peaceful, right? Let's see. Now we have Kronos as king and he marries his sister Rhea. They have children and then Kronos hears a prophecy that one of his children will take his throne. Being his father's son, this freaks him out, so he decides that he therefore must eat them. Rhea keeps having kids, but each time she pops them out, her husband gobbles them up. Understandably, this disturbs Rhea, so upon the birth of her 6th son, Zeus, she hands her husband a baby-sized stone to eat. He thinks nothing of it and pops the stone. Meanwhile, Zeus grows up on Crete where the nymphs help raise him. And every time he cries, the guards bang their swords so Kronos won't hear him. When Zeus is older, he conspires with his grandma Gaia to get back at his dad, so they made Kronos throw up all of Zeus's brothers and sisters. When Kronos figures out what's happening, there's a battle, and Zeus does the only proper thing by chopping off his dad's genitals and tossing them into the sea. Karma much? Now Zeus is king because he frees the rest of his family. There's his siblings Hera, the goddess of marriage, Poseidon, god of the sea, Hades, god of the underworld, Hestia, goddess of the hearth, and Demeter, goddess of crops and harvest. These are the Olympians. Zeus keeps on taking control by banishing all the Titans of the last generation to the underworld. Zeus has one more great battle where his grandma Gaia had a kid with 100 heads covered by flame named Typhon. By now, Zeus has acquired the thunderbolt and he is able to drive him down and sentence him to providing for volcanoes. Now the story doesn't end. Just like any other king god, Zeus marries and hears his kid is going to overthrow him. We all know that Zeus reigned on and his genitals did not join his father's, so what did he do to make him different? Well, rather than stuffing the kids back up or swallowing them himself, he just swallows his wife before she has any kids. What about Odysseus' Athena? Wasn't she one of Zeus's sisters? No, when Zeus swallows his wife, it turns out she was already pregnant with a girl, so the child pops out of Zeus's head after he swallows her mother. Who else other than the cunning daddy's girl Athena? From then on, no one else really challenges Zeus, so other gods are born from incestuous relations with each other and so on. Now you will probably take away from this something like darkness, some gods, light, Titan gods, battle, new king that swallows Olympian gods, battle. Zeus has war between Titans and Olympians and then sends Titans to underworld. But that's just fine, because remember that all this is interpreted from a poem that does not give us all the details. Many people read the story differently. The opening lines give no more detail than. So if all you get is a concept of power, revenge, battle, sexism, familial love, and then familial love, that should be good enough because these themes of gods with very messy relationships and very human emotions resonates through all of Greek mythology.